everybody. I hope everybody's doing really well and surviving the heat that is out there at the moment. So tonight I'm actually not going to cook because, well, I am going to cook, but not right now because Alan is going to go out running, and I would like to have us a meal that's ready when he gets back from there. I've got a couple of little things that I want to do on my VIP group this evening. I'm doing a draw tonight for everybody that joined my group during and the people that added them where appropriate. And I'm doing that at 7 tonight. Then at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm actually going to be launching some new ideas for lottos. So you're going to have a choice of products or money to spend on items for yourself. So I'm preparing those at the moment. So I can't tell you any more at the moment because I'm not even sure myself. So that is what I'm going to be doing at 8, but just for a few minutes. And I know that my husband is waiting to go out for a run until it's a little bit cooler. So I said, what I'm going to do tonight is just show you some of the things that I do when we get back from the grocery store. So, for example, my husband, he went to the grocery store today and he bought some peppers. And what I'm going to do with the peppers is I have a container here. Can you see? That already has some peppers in. So I'm actually going to just cut the stalk out of one of these and put that back in. So when I need a pepper, which I will this evening because I'm going to make some pizza, and anybody who wants to see what I'm making this evening, I'm going to put it on Bureau Tupperware Les Dimo at 11:30 tomorrow morning because I'm not able to actually be there tomorrow morning because I'm going to an event, and so I'm going to do the recording for it tonight and time it so it can be uploaded tomorrow. So that will be available. I'm going to need my peppers then. So, I think I might actually keep these out of my container because I know I'm going to need them soon. Oh, and I'm going to put these now. In here, there's a bit of moisture. Now, I don't want that moisture to stay in there, although normally I tell you don't wipe it out. But in this case, I'm putting in some fresh peppers. So I want my container that I'm going to use to be clean. So actually, I'm going to get a different container from my cupboard. And then I'm going to be able to use the peppers that I took out of there for my pizzas this evening. Now, when my kids were at home, and there were lots of us eating these, what I would do is take these and slice them up and put them in my fridge ready to use. But now there's just Alan and me. I tend to do my peppers as I go because there's not such an urgency. Whereas when your kids come home from school, they're starving. And so there's an urgency to have everything ready. Okay, so that's some peppers. So that's the peppers done. Now I have some romaine lettuce, and I know that my big Frischmart, my big yellow one, is in my dishwasher today. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use another medium deep Frischmart because these will fit in there. I just have to trim them down a little. So because I'm using a medium deep instead of the long one, I just need to make it so that they'll fit in easily. Now, as you can see, this one, that fits in perfectly, right? So I don't actually need to do anything to it. And because what I do when I use my romaine lettuce is I take off the outside pieces as I go to use it, and then I tear it as I go. So I don't actually need to do much here. I'm just going to trim off these little bits of extra at the top here. And then I'll put the second one round the other direction to the first one. Actually, I'm going to take this leaf off because it's quite brown. So now I have two in there nicely, and I've just got my third one here, and I'm just going to put that on the top. And okay, Killian says, Mom, I'd really like some of that lettuce. So we'll take a little piece off here, and I'll get a lid. So actually for these romaine lettuces, I don't need my big container because they all fit in here beautifully. And with lettuce, I'm going to put it to the first, the half open hole because on my chart here, that's where I see my lettuce is here, and it's in the half open. So that's my lettuce done. And then I will do that as I go. Let me give Killian a little bit of lettuce here. Okay, he's happy with that. Off he goes. So I've got lettuce, I've got peppers. Now I have tomatoes. Now, my tomatoes, I don't keep in my fridge. I keep them in my pantry. What I did was I went through this tomatoes, and these are the ones that are currently in there. So I'm actually going to tip them out and just check that they're all okay, which that I looked at them earlier, and I took out a couple that were looking a little bit not so good. And I have a new pack of tomatoes here. And actually, you know, I'm going to get another clean one because... So what I'm going to do is put the new ones in the bottom and then put the other ones in the top. And as I put them in, I'm going to check that they all seem pretty good. So now I'm going to put these ones back in on the top, just checking them as I go, because you don't want to introduce a tomato that is already starting to go off, because it will just not be good for the rest. So I've kept two out because they're not looking so good. So now I have my tomatoes. And now with tomatoes, when you look on your Fridge Smart, they're in this column, which says never put in the fridge. It doesn't actually say never put in a Fridge Smart. So I put them in a Fridge Smart, and what I do is it doesn't tell you what air hole to use, but I always put the air hole on maximum opening. I find that my tomatoes will last much, much longer when I do that. So now these don't live in my fridge. These are going to go into my pantry. And I have some other tomatoes in there. Okay, what else do I have to put away today? Well, my husband bought grapes. So we're going to put grapes in. Now, what I'm actually going to do with the grapes is, because I know he's going to just pick them and eat them from there, I need to wash them first. Oh, they're not washed yet. See, I told you, he's just going to eat them. So I'm going to put these into here. And I'm going to get my scissors and cut them up into little like pieces, and then rinse them with the water, and then let this sit on a tea towel for a little while until the water drains off, and then I'm going to put them into my fridge. Okay, so I'm going to try and cut these into little clumps so that they're easy to get out of the Fridgmart, right? And easy to pack in. So, because this is just one big, huge lump of, no, Killy. There's one thing Killy is not allowed is grapes, because grapes are dangerous for dogs. No. Dangerous for dogs. Okay, so no, Killy, no. You can't have any grapes. I don't know what he's saying, but I'm just worried he's going to go for the grapes. So now I'm just going to rinse these off. And then I'm going to get a tea towel, put it underneath, and then they'll just drain. And once they're drained and ready, then I know that they're good. And because Alan, he'll just help himself, at least I know that they're cleaned. Okay, so let me get a tea towel. And so I used, you know, the spray thing that I have one of those on my tap, and I always use those to clean. So there's my tea towel. And now I'll just let them drain off, and then when they're drained, that'll be good for eating. Okay, so we have peppers. Oh, I notice also that there are some strawberries. So I have a little Fridgmart for strawberries. Actually, these strawberries are surprisingly disappointing. These are Quebec strawberries. Alan bought them today, but I'm looking at them and they're already looking like they're sad. They were the best ones I could find. I'm not criticizing you, Al. I'm criticizing the store. So, Alan says these were the best ones he could find, which says something. So this is what I do with strawberries. I take the top off. I cut the top off, and then I cut them in half because Alan uses these. I don't eat many strawberries. I know a little doggy that likes them though. So Alan uses strawberries. He has them with yogurt and granola and stuff at lunchtime. So what I'm going to do with all of these is cut them up. Any jam jar. Oh, I haven't even thought about the jam jar. No jam jar today. I'm not cooking today. So, but thanks for reminding me. We'll do jam jars again next week. But as I'm cutting these, I'm looking at them and thinking, whoa, these are not good quality. So I need to get them in a Fridgmart as soon as possible. So at least we can keep them for a couple of days. So this is how, I mean, there are some here, honestly, they're not going to even make it into the pot. They really look quite sad. And I guess, you know, what happens is the stores get to the end of the, yeah, they do. They look sad. The stores get to the end of their batches, and maybe they didn't get time to get any new ones out today. I mean, I don't mind eating them if I can eat them, but I hate paying for money that things that in the end I can't eat. But now I've got my magic formula for making fruit sort of compote type thing for fruit sponge. That's where these are going to end up if I don't end up, Alan doesn't end up eating them. Okay, now the rest of those, they look a little sad, Killy. So oh, hang on, this one looks okay. So I'm going to put these to the side because I only have one colander. And at the moment, I mean, look at that strawberry. It's horrible. And Alan just bought it today. All of these ones at the bottom, they're pretty horrible. Okay, so we're not going to eat those. So I'm just going to put this to the side until I'm finished with my grapes. Then I'll just rinse these off. Actually, there's probably enough of, not so many of them. I could just do a little rinse on here and get a different cutting board. Okay, so let me put those onto a different tea towel, but I'm just going to put the strawberries onto them straight away. Okay. So that they will go in a small fridge smart. So I've got a fridge smart for my grapes, fridge smart for my strawberries. What was this one? Oh, that's a dirty one. That needs to go in the wash. And now what I do want to do is I have some chicken breast that needs to go, and I took your advice, Susan, and I got some more oats. I put oats on the list so I don't run out. So these hopefully will fit in here with this. I'm pretty sure they will. Perfect. So now I'm well stocked up on oats. So I can make lots of crumbles and Anzac cookies and granola bars. So that's good. So I'll pop that straight in its spot in the pantry. Okay. Now the very last thing that I have to cut up today or prepare is my chicken breast. So I'm going to get this out. My wire for my computer has got all tangled here. Okay, so I've got my cutting board, and I'm going to get my big knife. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is undo my packet of chicken breast. And actually I have no freezer mates left upstairs, so I'm going to use 2 different freezer containers. And I'm just going to wash these before I cut them up. Okay. Washed chicken breast. And I'm going to actually take 2 of them and just put them straight in to my container like this. because sometimes I like to have whole chicken breasts depending what sort of recipe I'm doing. So I'm going to put 2 like that. Then I'm going to take these other 2 and cut them up into pieces to go into my freezer. So as you can see, when you go shopping and you're part of Tupperware, when you get home, you have quite a lot of prep to do. And maybe this is, maybe you're like a lot of people that you come home from the store and all you want to do is shove that stuff into the fridge because you've already had enough at the store and you don't want to do any more work. But the thing about preparing your stuff when you get home from the store means 2 things. One, you're much more likely to end up using it because now it's prepared, ready to use. 2, you're much less likely to throw it away because it's going to last longer if it is in your fridge smarts, your freezer mates. And 3, when you come to use the items, now it's going to be so easy for you to cook with because everything is chopped to the right size. Your vegetables are ready to use. And so although you take a little bit of extra time when you come in from the store, when you come to that time of day, which is crunch time, to do the cooking, now you're actually more prepared than you would have been if you had just shoved it all into the fridge. And tell me, if you come home from the store and you've just thrown things into the fridge, how many of you have ever ended up throwing away something because you just forgot that it was there? You couldn't see it, you weren't reminded about it, and so by the time you actually found it, shoved at the back of the fridge, it was no good anymore. You couldn't use it. So there's one breast done. And do the second one. So yes, when you come home and you're with Tupperware, you're going to take a bit more time to put your stuff away. But ultimately, you're going to save time because if you see this evening, I was able to use the same cutting board for all of my fruit and veg. And I didn't need to get out a fresh one each time I came to use it. I was able to get my containers out in one hit. And generally, at the end of the day, it's going to save me time. And one of the things that is so precious to everybody is time. Okay. So that is it, folks. I think that is the end of my prep that I need to do today. I did get some, my daughter Susie got me some cheese from Costco yesterday, so that was good. So that went straight into the cheese smart. So I've got my chicken breast cut up, ready to go. And I have my chicken breast in 2 pieces. So now I'm going to use my chalk pen to just write on here whole chicken breast because I have a drawer freezer. And so all I have to do is look down into my drawer and know what I have. And this is chicken breast pieces. Now I get through my stuff really fast because I just have a small little freezer. But if you have a big freezer, I would also recommend you writing the date on your stuff so that you know when it's passed. And generally, I think the general guideline is anything that is more than 6 months old, you should consider whether you want to keep it. And I guarantee that everybody who's watching me today, unless they have a tiny freezer like mine, has stuff in their freezer that's been there more than 6 months. Because that's what happens. We buy stuff, we put it in the freezer, we don't get around to using it, and then when you think about it, you think, oh no, I don't think I can be bothered with that today. And then before you know it, it's like a year later, and you say, I better throw that away now. It's been in there too long. So the eco mugs I got, are they for cold drink? No, they're for hot drinks too, Tammy. You can put hot drinks or cold drinks in the eco mugs. Even those little ones that you bought at the weekend, the plastic ones, you can put hot or cold drinks into those as well. Okay, guys, so that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching this evening. As you can see, I'm just the same as everybody else. I unpack my shopping, I put it away, I take the time to do it because I know that now when I go to my fridge, when I go to my freezer, when I go to my pantry, my stuff is ready to use and it's in good condition. You had that. Yes, you got to clean out your freezer. That's exactly what happened to me, Susan, is I cleaned out my freezer and then decided I don't really need a big freezer anymore. And so now I know that my things rotate around pretty fast. Okay, so thank you everybody for being here. Have a great evening. As I say, I won't be live tomorrow on Bureau, but there will be a video there of making, I think I'm going to do a video this evening of making pizzas. So that is what I'm going to put on Bureau for tomorrow morning. So have yourselves a fantastic evening, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.